presented to them on the 24-hour economy are all fake news.
They are
fake news.
Let's watch some small video, and so that we can comment. Let's watch this video.
Bread and butter issues is the 24-hour economy.
The 24-hour economy.
Very well.
The 24-hour economy. We're talking about. We're talking about infrastructure. He said that look, we must continue with our program to have every regional capital having an airport. He's talked about the need to have in agriculture to have farm banks.
So I keep asking
cooperatives. So
wakaso about 24-hour economy. Obi. Me no say. Watch it for in ton watch it after 6 p.m. Is it the regular practice?
Maybe because there is no demand.
Absolutely. So
at that time.
So you have to stimulate that demand.
You have pharmacies that are operating 24 hours. They provide security at a cost. President Mahama says the state will take that responsibility to provide security for you. Fuel stations no longer run 24 hours except few.
So if I
hold on.
I'm just trying to understand. So if I should open my business at night,
I
shouldn't pay for security.
No, yes, the state
government will pay for security for me.
That is what the President Mahama said.
Is that possible?
No, President Mahama says that we are going to focus on private entities, particular manufacturing and industries. He made mention of even fuel stations. He made mention of pharmacies. The responsibility to maintain security in the state is the responsibility of the police. And the reason why fuel stations, only few, have been closed at night happened under their administration.
How is that so?
President Mahama says is that, look, we will provide security for industries and businesses who apply to take advantage of the 24-hour economy.
And government will pay for security?
The government will provide security. What are the police there for?
Do we have the money for that?
Don't we have police officers who can patrol the streets?
No, but you're talking about security. I mean, a lot of these businesses have their personal security.
I am saying that the president says that that personal security, which you spend so much money, for which reason you can run your pharmacy 24 hours, the state is going to take that responsibility. That is the 24-hour economy.
At what cost?
Oh, at the cost of the state.
It's a 24-hour economy. No. No, you're saying. You be identify sectors you be to me abuamo with revenue, with resources, with even technical knowledge, with security. Na yabuamo ebia factory be ana company be of free zones. Na yabua omo na omo to me asisa because ebia omo machines nkrapo no. Ebia capacity no any ho and say recalibration be into it will be carefully examined, and then the companies and now factories and now business establishments are able to me adjustment no ye apart from that no so no labor and conform be ye adwuma no say in nhyehyɛ emra emra sesa into even policies and laws ni nyina no ebesesa to realign into nyoma bebre be sesa nhyehyɛ ye be ye nhyehyɛ bebre, but the basic idea no say instead say wo be ye be ye adwuma 9 to 5 no ye hye say ye be twe aye adwuma 9 to 5, 7 to let's say 12, and then 1 to let's say 6. Now yenya more employment, yenya more resources and revenue, yenya more products and a bigger market, especially for your export. Into yebe to me ashe poultry, yebe to me so ashe some aspects of farming and some production. Yeah, that's it. This is the idea.
I know ye ma ye no wasena ye mfa wo de no ensi.
What about the 40 day? Our
24 hours economy.
Now how do all tias here?
24 hour economy no. Obi atias here. Very very simple. Sisi ya buy about 10. Ekobot 10. Abona ekobot 10. Ya pon another president another program it was wa. It's another 24 hours na yakọ anim. Anambwa. Ya pon mama pon show na. Still on header ho. Anambwa. Who put my serious? That's how from 10 to 11.
Yeah, go off.
Mon pong, but another political program and costume. Another anamboa.
It's going to be 24 hour economy.
That's how that's your host here.
That's how politics.
Yes, not so was near to us. On also point apart. Now, a woman do an musaba. Nay, when see the pong, or be free as a nice money to us. Now, yeah, bon. Mon pong, but a program is a program the pong, anamboa. Program the pong, yapon. This year, before now, more train. Now, I can say not time because all some club book and they buy. So 1 hour, another 2 hours. Now you are 12, and there's 12, 2 and a point, you have only a coffee.
Namoso Pana for Fraba.
Never Fraba.
The politics throughout.
Never say another before for peace FM some year this way. We have blah blah blah. So we're wasting now. Now almost a bong do. Now I said one a cosu, and never my economy. Let me have both you connect
24-hour economy. No, the Ayaba say. Abai ebecha electricity boa ewo from kura edi ama enyuma yefo a mo beba adwuma anajo no ma be ya adwuma enti mo amoye fundraise mo amoye welders mo amokura eka sene ne amane ma mo hia electricity pa no mo penufo na mo adwuma emfaso aba mo a mo be sign na mo ba adwuma anajo use electricity a na ne boa ya dey akofom wo mo ya iron rods ene ya mo yusu anyama wode kese no mo be ye mo adwuma anajo a wo be hu se anyama wode boa be kofom pa aboa mo ama manya mfaso na maburu no so wo mo anya adwuma ay
megidi yesese party no tumi tina se na mo twiro se senior be kono na mo nyina ma no eye ba ko a megidi se be boa yen
my prof nje we have
about na wadwe na kasa na onye correct internet.
There be prof.
The eyes cannot see what the brain does not know.
With the prof with the
I think I've just been insulted.
But
that's the same that's the same. Ubisa in Chechemupe. This is the posture.
Yes. I think we are drawing the curtains here. My name as you know. Akwesi Wodi Akrobatro.
Nina mumayenko tono. Hallelujah, Yesu dina ye wampa. Yesu dina ye wampa. Hallelujah, Yesu dina ye wampa. Yesu dina ye wampa. Hey, all the time. Unyame obosru ni asasi. Adini na mumayenko tono. Onyame obosru ni asasi. Eneme wumuni na mumayenko tono. Hallelujah, Yesu dina chama to me there. Ampa. Yesu dina ye ampa. Hallelujah, Yesu dina ye ampa. Yesu dina ye ampa. Onyame obosru ni asase. Adini na mumayenko tono. Hallelujah, Yesu dina ye ampa. Yesu dina ye ampa. Hallelujah, Yesu dina ye ampa. Yesu dina ye Hey, this guy, so he's so articulate, eh? Unyame obosru ni asase. Neme umuni na muma. Miracles, when you wear suits, you look different too. Muma ye koturu. Hallelujah. Hey, Eugene, yeah, that's the fancy constituency thing. It's a Goma where Jordanda used to be. I'm sure you'll get it. Hallelujah, yes. Hey, what's up? Yesu dina ye wawa. Aye, Son of Man is here. Oh. Hello. Hallelujah, Yesu dina yewa wampa. Yesu dina yewa wampa. Hallelujah, Yesu dina yewa wampa. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, viewers. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today, 27 minutes past the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Today we have a lot is happening. It's always a pleasure to welcome you to the show. Tonight I'm going to say some very controversial things in the second part of the program. We are discussing manifesto and we are talking about job creation. And I'm going to develop a whole thesis today for young people. When a politician says that he is going to give you jobs, what are the critical questions we need to ask him? Because you've been following what's happening in America. A whole presidential candidate, sitting president, told him that, chief, the thing is not working. Get down, get down. Hurry up, get down. Well, they didn't quite say that. They said, please get down. He's got, initially he was angry, said he won't do it, he's gotten down. So looking at the American situation at the weekend, it told me how in Ghana, our young people don't seem to take the politicians serious. I mean, we don't seem to think that the decisions of politicians will impact our lives. It will definitely impact our lives. It will impact today, it will impact tomorrow. So today I'm going to begin a thesis where what should we be looking for when a politician says, I want to give you jobs? What should we be asking him? If the politician knows the threshold, if he knows that I am coming to talk to young people, and this is their standard, this is their threshold, this is what they're going to be asking me about job creation. He will not just come and stand there and say, I will create jobs. So I'm going to get deep into and very controversial into what we should be looking for from politicians when they create jobs. That's why I'm talking to you. Antoinette, the Chinese interpreter, has just walked in. She came late, so she will sit on the bench today. No, I don't. Antoinette, how are you? I hope you're fine. Charlie, this guy is very articulate. Guy, what do you think? Charlie, the guy is too good, man. It's been a while. Mr. Apreko, please get him back in the studio one of these days. We want to hear his silky voice and the way he talks, and you know, I really like Agba. It's good. Hey, the couple is there. So I'll be dealing with that story. I'll be dealing with that story in real great detail. Okozi, happy birthday. Esla, Oforesiama, Asafua, Kojo Ponkroma, Information Minister Fatima, Dakwa Newman. Okay, I don't know. Viewers, do you know who this is? I don't know him. If you find him, tell him that I'm looking for him, but I don't know him. Okay. Hey, this is my guy, man. This guy, we were in Commonwealth Hall together. He's my guy. When he was running for Commonwealth JCR president, I was carrying the radio that was doing the sound in front of Commonwealth Hall. That is my guy, you know. When he was going for the face-to-face, yeah, I was with him. We call him Osikeni Eboa. He's going to make Subin very, very good. He's going to make Subin good. Asensu, of course, Bantam Asensu Boache, and the Leonard Attorney General, the running mate and his wife, and Buedi Nyameche. He's the one who sang that song. Hallelujah, Yesu dina yewawa ampa. Yesu dina yewawa ampa. The Maker's House, Buedi Nyameche. Buedi Nyameche, please say hello to your guy, Blemeza. That guy is a very, very good young man. I mean, he's one of the young men that's an example to many young men in Ghana. I talked about him the other day. One day I'll come and tell you his story. Good evening, Mr. Reverend Buedi Nyameche. Of course. Samira is in OT Regional. Have you been following on social media? Samira is in OT Region. Now, this is the story I have. So, I had an encounter this morning. My mother, she was talking. I spend some of my weekend hours with her. So when she called me this morning, I was wondering why she's calling me on a Tuesday morning. But anyway, I picked the call. Then she said, hey, I want to say, I said, I started becoming suspicious. I want to say, I said, yeah, fine. He said, Mr. I want to say, I said, yeah, I'm okay. He said, now what program? I said, he said, now, who started a program? How many years? I said, oh, well, she knows, she and I, we started a program together, so she knows. I said, 2001. He said, then I knew that this is why she had called me. O program now, this is my mother talking. O program now, so we are now one boy in DC for dinner program, no me na. That's what she said. We are a program, no one boy in DC for dinner program, we are any year na. I was quiet on it. My mother is one of the people I'm very afraid of. Anybody who knows me knows that. So I was quiet on the phone. I said, I explained to her that when say election abanti, say election assembly na make. I say election, I said the TBA Uber NDC for the born people within. I mean, besides say program. And now a program, that's one born DC for the program we are any year now. I said, oh, ebe, it's a TDSM. Now, John Mahama, you cry, John Mahama, no, I down for no, I down for John Mahama. Usano Okoto, John Mahama, your car, you don't even a coy. And that's true. I bought a car that belonged to Lordina Mahama in 2003 or 2004, Toyota Tesla. I bought it from her. She was selling it. I went to President Mahama's house just next to GIS, as I usually would do. He was Deputy Minister of Communication. At that time, communication and information were together. So if you're a journalist, that's your ministry. So I frequently go to John Mahama's house. And then one day I got there, and then Lordina said she was selling her car. And I said, I'll buy it. And so I bought it. So I think when I was going to pay the money or collect the car, I went with my mother. My mother was usually with me those days. I was always with her. So she remembered that I want to make call. Your mama, only no kunto. Now me call ifia okoton. And the bro food in and come team. And I said, Lordina. I said, hey, Lordina. Oh, mommy fine be obo adia say. This is John Mahama wa down for no. Into the piano be the TV so NDC for I said, it's one boy in this city program ye. I was listening to her. It's Akufo-Addo, Papa wa ba Akufo-Addo wa ya de. That's in a Ghana for be who. Say Akufo-Addo nye she cry. This is my mother talking. Free SHS or their bay. Hey, inti go for we na. Kwamo for boys here. They started mentioning my hometown people's names and say hometown as well. Kwamo for boys here. They don't be just me way. Okay. September be anama frel. Kweku mami school fees and fakoma kwamo for. And now be anfreme. I just my secondary school you free. St. Louis cry your son. Make we come call St. Louis ni in sin form. Make we come as her older sister. And then St. Louis you free. Prempeh College free. Opoku free. Na Ghana force Akufo-Addo they why there Akufo-Addo aya there papa. Enti Akufo-Addo ntina wo ye program na say Akufo-Addo ntina o kind this for asem any jai because Akufo-Addo bebe we do no why there kese pa che say that na Ghana for be bonidin. So I said yo Mate it's enti na program no obe na program be na obe political pressure. I said she shouldn't worry. So just as I was walking to the studio, I called her nurse. And the I said, Brakoku. I said, Ma wada na. I said, Mpacho ma wada. I said, oh, thank God. She's asleep. Please don't call her. Nobody should tell her that I'm on the program. There's NDC flag behind me, and nobody should tell her. I've told her that today there's no NDC. If you want to see my mother, please put the photograph of my mother on the one I sent you. Yeah, that's her. So this is my mother. She's always in church looking like this, clapping her hands and. This is her, and she's my light, she's my mentor, she's my everything, and I've been with her through thick and thin, as they say. So she's asleep right now, so she doesn't know that tomorrow morning people will send her video. She'll call me and say, no, then program now, yeah. When that's how she starts, I'll say, oh, no, a video, no, I'm the damn program. Why not? I say, don't get you, why are you? It's always coming. It's always coming. So God bless her. She's a good woman. God bless her. All right. Okay, so it's 9:35. We're going to take a break. Please, you can show Pudon, but I didn't say show it. Otherwise, the old lady will come and do everyday program, NDC, this and that. She's an apostle of Free SHS, by the way. In fact, I should have recorded her conversation and given to Miracles to use it for Free SHS adverts. Political. Because the thing the testimony she gave to me about her Josuman Secondary School and St. Louis Secondary School and Prempeh, all her relatives that she used to take care of now and he said it's such a phenomenal thing that nobody can forget that in future Ghanaians will really put Akufo-Addo up there for delivering free SHS. Okay. 25 minutes on top of the hour. It's okay. Ma can go to bed on the screen as well, as she is in reality, according to her nurse right now. Yes. We are going to take a break. When we come back, it's going to be fireworks. Earlier, the Minister for Finance was in Parliament and he had a conversation with them. We'll get the inside story of what happened. And then our first story today is the United States story. Professor H.C. Kanku is in the studio. We'll get that out of the way. The reason why we have to do that is, viewers, help me to apologize to Professor H.C. Kanku. In the last 3 programs that you have seen of Good Evening, he's always been here. But by the time the program runs out, we really can't find time to. Our content levels are really, really high. We always have so much content, we are not able to use the time to deliver all the content. In fact, if you give us 4 hours of production, we will still be able to fill it. If you give us 5 hours of Good Evening Ghana, we will still be able to do it. If you say we should start Good Evening Ghana at 8 o'clock and finish at midnight, we will still have content left because we generate content just like that. All the young people at the back there, they just generate content. It will just come plenty, you know. So anyway, now we need to take a break. When we come back, HSC can go first. Next, we are going to talk about policy, employment creation, manifestos. What should they be saying? Before then, we'll talk about IEA debate. What's the latest on IEA debate? I saw a big fight going on between the NDC's Joyce Bauer and the IEA. They said the IEA is a front for the MPP. A whole lot of things. So we're going to have a discussion on all that. Samira Baumia, meanwhile, is in the OT region. And I think that things are happening there for her. Things are really, really happening there for her. She seems to have this magnetic touch, you know, that when she goes out, she sort of attracts people. Out there also, Dr. Baumia is doing wonders up north. We have to wait for that night on the 9th of December when we'll be in the studio receiving the results from the north. When we're looking at it in the studio this afternoon, each of the young people decided to pick a place to look at. Bimbela, Saboba, Triponi, Saraga. We are looking at results from 2020. And so on election night, we're going to tell you, as soon as the results drops, we'll put it and tell you that we shaded blue means that it's been improving. We shaded green means that it's going to NDC, etc., etc. But we're really trying to juxtapose the crowds and the excitement that we are seeing in the Baumia campaign in the north to what the ballots will show on the 9th of December when we'll all be here by the grace of God. John Dramani Mahama had a successful walk at the weekend. He started from Spintex Road and ended in Nungwa. Majority of the NDC faithful young people were there. It was a very fiery, enthusiastic event. It was very mobilizing. Dr. Rawlins and her brother seemed to have stolen the show. When they appeared on the stage, it was very, very interesting for the NDC faithful. We'll have videos from there and talk about that as well on tonight's edition of Good Evening Ghana. It's election season, it's election year, and so we're going to dedicate most of our minutes, hours, videos, photographs, all to the coverage of the 2024 election. You have to keep your eye on this show. This is the best political current affairs program. I have something to say about Captain Smart as well. I don't know why he's doing that. He got himself into trouble again. National Media Commission says TV3 should call him to order. I don't know why. I don't know why journalists do that. When they keep doing that, people don't respect journalists. I stand here and talk so much about NDC, don't I? Has National Media Commission written to me and say, stop using some language? Because the language we use here is good language. You cannot come and be calling political people rats, and I don't understand. That's not the journalism we know. That's not it. You see, when you do that and they say journalism has gone to the dogs, what would you say? I mean, you can do your program, do your anti-MPP program. Nobody wants you to do a pro-MPP program. Nobody wants you to do a pro-NDC program. Just do your program and then be sure that you are communicating in a way that's not offensive to culture. You are communicating in a way that's not offensive to intellect, and that you are putting out stuff that is true and verifiable. And you can put whatever spin you want to put on it. People might disagree with the spin, but the facts out of which your narrative emerges must be factual and verifiable as a journalist. What is all this? We'll get there. We'll get there in a bit. Okay, after the break, we are full throttle. Good Evening Ghana, live Tuesday edition. We'll be right back.
This is my secret. Give us P capsules. Pema wa ho din from now on to me to my din one pem. Give us P capsules. Obedu ase mama. Ono eneme lawyer.
Anti wo lawyer no na she obotom. Are you bro? They na pon permission ba be chia mo a ese ni die.
Busano.
No. You get if you are coming. The friend give us cold capsules. Say yes, is yare na wo so. Ko di do ni pedwem wani na wo posa amamman enti ma wunja wo nan yi. Wonum give us cold capsules a. Obeye free.
Lawyer,
give us cold capsules.
And I give us P capsules.
Hey, and I give us free.
Capsules.
Meme what if you do what you do cronkwan efa. Give us core capsules. A painful a batter one more menu for an kwada when if you do me nunca.
Bet. Blast. Boom. Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
Agro, Ghana for Mama Dada yo. May the dear Dana va. Dada spices are wood running in every Jackso. And you never know yet.
If we come your job, we no use Dada spices. We don't go job. If I don't feel
Paste the inside. Yeah, the natural spices, Papa Pana.
Noodles nebeza. Everywhere you go, Dada spices.
Just the
one. No more Dada spices. Aji baby, Dada.
Black. Tasting like chicken.
Kaji go. But Dada spices here what Jenny say. Nanya good taste. If we say yeah the natural spices and yeah Ghana hey yao. Ani you want all purpose stew, noodles, curry and nutmeg and a jollof. Dada spices taste yummy, taste lemon. Dada spices taste day inside. FDIG a jedi in kratoya too.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim jom kasa.
Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial *712#. Now, Paswato tickets not as a group, individual, and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.
Having an airport.
Welcome to the show. Before we get into the fire sister, Prof is here. Good evening, Prof.
Good evening.
Sorry,
Prof.
we've had you on our program and then we are not able to do it because of our content. But I was watching, you know, you and I, we owe Michael an apology.
We do.
Because last Thursday, was it last Thursday? Yes,
Last
Thursday
Thursday.
when the program closed.
Yes.
He showed us a video says
Yeah.
Biden has stepped down.
Yes.
And we told him that it's not verifiable. The website was kind of dodgy.
Yeah.
Some two men who were talking. And they said he's going to step down on Sunday.
Yes.
But he's not going to back Kamala Harris.
Right.
Yes. It
Right.
turned out that it happened. Well, he did back Kamala Harris, but
Right.
Sunday he stepped down.
Yeah, but you know, I mentioned to you, Good Evening Ghana was on the ground a few months ago.
Yes,
And
when
I
you were there.
contacted some of my sources, and we're beginning to hear that by Sunday, he was going to make the decision.
The announcement.
Like no matter what, by Sunday, he would definitely make up his mind. It could come Saturday, it could come Friday.
Make up his mind to continue or make up his mind to step down?
Yes, whether he should continue as the presidential candidate or he should just step back. So that Sunday deadline
Was
people
always knew about it?
Yeah, it was always there. It was always there. And
Wow.
He didn't want to go beyond Sunday. I mean, Monday was no question about it. So, I mean, I wasn't too surprised. Remember, I told you, let's go on air. And I mentioned that Joe Biden's presidential candidature is all but over. And then you were like, no,
let's wait and see what happens.
While. But yeah, I've been talking to some of my sources.
So who and whom are responsible for this?
For Joe Biden stepping back?
Yes, there's wild rumor all over the place. Of course, fueled by Republican cynicism. But who are behind?
Well, there's no conspiracy theory. I mean, the only person who could have helped Joe Biden was Joe Biden. At the end of the day, he really wanted to continue. This is a guy who has never worked in the public sector. He's lived his entire life in politics. It was a very emotional decision for him to make. He doesn't do anything else apart from politics. But then he said there were three things that were going to make him stop. One, if they could bring him data that showed that there's no way he's going to win the election. Two, if he realizes that he's not getting any money, any donation from the donors. And three, if he begins to lose support, among some key people, then he will step back.
Key people being who? Nancy Pelosi, Barack, and Mrs. Obama?
Yes, and also in the swing states, if he realizes that he's losing support from most of the key people. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio.
Do they now call Georgia a swing state?
Yeah, Georgia is.
How did Georgia become a swing state?
Well, because of the heavily urban population in Atlanta and a lot of the urban dense population in urban cities, that has really pushed the
But Georgia was won in 2020 by Biden.
Yes, it was.
2016 by Trump.
By Trump, yes.
2012 by Obama.
Yes. But historically, it's been a red state.
Yes. So I'm wondering why. Is it Obama victory of 2012 that now makes people feel that Georgia is red?
Yes, and also because a lot more people are moving into the dense.
Who has the governorship in Georgia?
It's Republican, Brian Kemp.
Yeah,
yes.
So really? Okay.
Yeah.
But the Democrats are hoping to pick Georgia up.
To pick it up, yes, because they also keep losing some swing states like Florida is almost red now, or it's red. Ohio,
Florida is significant in terms of numbers.
In terms of numbers, and the Democrat, and it's turned pretty much red. Ohio too is supposed to be swing state, but it's turned red. So what the Democrats too are doing is that they are looking for other places to make up for this shortfall.
What happens in Maryland, Virginia, Washington?
Maryland pretty much blue. Virginia is purple. It's a swing state. The capital is mostly blue. It's mostly Democrat.
The capital is not big in terms of delegates.
Yeah, in terms of delegates.
California is blue.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't count. Yeah, totally blue. But Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio are the typical swing states.
These are the battleground states.
Those are the battleground states, because over time, the recalibration has changed. And so some states which were typically swing have become red, like North Carolina, Florida, as we said. And so because of that, the Democrats try to look for other places. Like Arizona has been typically Republican. But because of the immigration factor, it is also becoming a battleground state. And they are hoping that they'll pick up something from there. So the map, yes, we still do have the red and the blue, but there are a lot of changes that are going on now. So the Democrats are looking for other places to show up their vote, and so are the Republicans. For instance, the Republicans cannot win without North Carolina. Also because Wisconsin has shredded Democrats, even though it's a swing state, it has shredded Democrats in recent times. So the Republicans too are looking for, and then the Republicans are also losing Arizona and Colorado, which used to be, because of the marijuana legalization of marijuana and all of that, it became quite liberal. So the Republicans too are losing some typical red states.
Okay.
So they're also looking for other places to pick this up. And that's why Kamala is being tempted to pick the governor of North Carolina, Ray Cooper, as the running mate, because there is no way the Republicans are going to get to 270 without North Carolina. So there's that temptation.
Without North Carolina, Republicans can't get to 270. They cannot.
No, it's going to be very
Even
hard.
if they win Pennsylvania, they win Ohio.
Even if they win Pennsylvania and Ohio, it's still going to be tough.
Really? And they win Florida?
And they win Florida, yes.
They still need North Carolina.
Because they still need, yes, the typical swing states. And if they lose any of the swing states, I mean, that's
also the pressure on Kamala is to pick the governor of, is it senator or governor?
It's a governor.
Governor of North Carolina.
Of North Carolina. But that's a risky decision because,
Why?
I mean, he's a Democrat, but he barely won re-election, right? And so, and North Carolina is also typically red. I mean, there are no guarantees that if you...
He didn't win big in the re-election.
Yeah, for the re-election.
Narrow.
Very narrow. You get it? So, I mean, there are no guarantees there. So I think the most... I mean, from a strategic point of view, the most plausible person would be George Shapiro, who is the governor of Pennsylvania. You know, he's young, he comes from a swing state, Pennsylvania.
He's governor.
He's governor, and he's a Democratic governor in a swing state. That's not easy to do because you have a lot of white working class, middle class voters, voters there. So he can appeal to those kind of voters, and they're the same kind of voters along all the white working class votes, like Michigan, like
so he represents that group of people.
Yes. So
in this analysis of swing states, where do you put VP? What do you call it? JP Vance.
Oh, JD
Vance. JD Vance.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's 39-year-old running mate.
Yes. So Trump picked him for the same reasons that Kamala wants to pick a white middle-class American who appeals to the working class in the swing states. Because J.D. Vance is from Ohio. He is well steeped in the small town biography, narrative story of America. His grandmother took care of him, and the grandmother was middle class. She was not overly rich. I mean, he worked in the army, came back and became a rich man through his work in the venture capital. He embodies that American story, the American dream. And Donald Trump is hoping that, and then the youth factor as well. Because when we went to the ground in March doing that report, part of the stuff that we found was that the youth in America, remember I did that report from the University of Maryland and across the young people. One of the major things they said was that they are dissatisfied with the options that are being presented to them in terms of the generational gap. They could not identify with both Trump and with Biden. And so what Trump has done is to choose, 39-year-old, very young vice president in order to make up for that generational gap and hopefully to fire up the young people to shore up his votes as well. So that's where
Trump
J.D. Vance comes in.
At 80, he easily could have had J.D. Vance as his son.
Yep. And that's why Trump's son
is best friends with J.D.
is
Vance.
J.D. Vance, because like they connect on that level. And Trump really was not too sold on him, but it was his son who really made the big push.
Trump Jr.
Yeah, Trump Jr. Yeah, Donald Trump Jr.
He felt that my friend J.D. Vance can do the work.
He stuck up his neck. If you listen to the story, right up until I think Sunday evening or a couple of days. Yeah, the convention started on Monday. Yeah, so right up until Sunday evening, Donald Trump Jr. was right up there with the dad in that room. Prodding him, says, no, you need to pick this guy. He's the future of the Republican Party. He can carry the torch for you. He has the credentials, he has the looks and the imagery and all of that. Imagery and identity is a major factor.
Is his wife Indian?
Yes, his wife is.
That's interesting.
Yes. So
that's very interesting.
Hopefully they could make that multicultural, appeal as well. So yeah, Trump Jr. is a big fan of J.D. Vance, and they've got it. So
okay, where do we go from here?
Well, this is going to be a very one of the most unprecedented races in American history. We've had one of the most momentous past 2 weeks in presidential politics anywhere on the globe. It's going to be a very seismic presidential election. Kamala Harris is going to have to select her own running mate. She's going to make a very big case against Trump in terms of her prosecutorial background. There are also a lot of bottlenecks that she has to get over. She's going to stake her claims on the fact that she's advancing women's rights, advancing reproductive health. But there are a lot of people in the swing states, you know, who are still not sold up on her. So, and then the Democratic Party itself has to also get through their own convention. Hopefully, nobody comes and...
I think they've crossed that stage now, haven't they?
No. The convention is still yet to come on.
Well, I mean, they've crossed the stage where people will come and say, I also want to stick out my neck to contest.
No, technically, well, she has enough votes to get it, but until the convention is held and she's officially given the coronation, anything is still possible. You know, and Donald Trump now has, we have a totally new race. Everything that Donald Trump has planned for against Biden has to be thrown out.
He said that in a tweet.
Oh, he did.
That we have to start all over again.
All over again, yeah. So it's. I mean, if you notice, you've not heard a lot from Donald Trump.
Not yet. They're planning. I think they're not talking. They're waiting to see the first things that Kamala Harris does, praying hard that she'll make a mistake or a slip of salt.
Right.
She hasn't so far.
Right.
And then they can capitalize on that. But they're going to punch her very hard for her role as a prosecutor and how many black people went to jail under her watch in California. That's going to be a big story because she now needs to stick up the black votes. But you're going to have in the campaign, do you think, you're going to have in the campaign a very spirited campaign for Michelle and Barack Obama? We're expecting that at the end of August.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle, I have to be honest with you, Michelle Obama really hasn't been sold on this whole politics thing. She's somebody who wasn't interested in her husband running in the first place. Her husband had to have a deal with her, you know, in order to run. There's a backstory to that. So for all her popularity, for all her appeal, for all her charisma, for all her eloquence, you know, for all the huge respect that she has within the psyche of American politics, from a very, very personal point of view, she's somebody who is quite averse to politics. It's had a toll on her. It's had a toll on her marriage. She's not shied away from it. It's had a toll on their parental and her own career. She had a very, glistering career being lined up. And so she's not a huge fan, you know, of getting back into that kind of life. You can see she's enjoying her life as a private citizen. She had a podcast. She's been able to write books. And she's talked very, very, genuinely about the toll politics has had on her career. She said for 10 years, she hated Obama because she had to leave everything for him to advance the career. And it brought a very funny dynamic at home as well. And she's been quite open about talking about the toll that it's taken on a marriage. I doubt she's going to stick her neck out and go through this all over again.
But Barack Obama is the bigger Obama, is the more political Obama.
Yeah.
He's going to step up as former president and run a big campaign for Kamala Harris.
Right.
The question would be that would he have run the same campaign for Biden, his former deputy? Maybe not. So
I think he would have, up until the point that Biden's cognitive elements became quite a huge question. Remember, they had what they call one of the biggest friendships in politics, the Obama-Biden bromance, sort of. They're great friends, and they genuinely do like each other. So there's absolutely no doubt that Obama would have always stuck his neck out for Biden. He's a great campaigner, but his time is gradually passing. The kind of coalition he put together to win, he did the same thing for Hillary Clinton. It didn't really work. And so I think it's about time that they try to look for votes from different places. It's a totally different dynamic. And don't forget that Kamala Harris is black. She's female at the same time. Obama had to go through a lot before he was able to become the first black president. Kamala is going to have to contend with that, this time as a double minority, both as a female and as a black. So
that's going to be a tough one. When we saw the results of election 2008 in America, and we saw that Obama had won by 51%, it was shocking.
It was.
We thought Obama was going to win by 70% from the way the atmosphere looked.
Yeah.
That Senator McCain did so well, 49. Obama nearly didn't win.
Oh, he almost didn't win.
For the kind of fanfare and pomp and circumstance that characterized Obama's campaign globally. He was pulling crowds in Munich. He was pulling crowds in Japan,
in Indonesia,
Europe,
Africa,
and everywhere in America.
Germany.
And the results come and it's only 51%.
Yeah.
That was shocking.
Yeah, and that should tell you how...
So Kamala has a tall mountain to climb, doesn't she?
Very much
Given
so.
the American cultural dynamics.
Yep. Yep, and if John McCain didn't get it so wrong in his running mate choice,
yes, Obama could have been in trouble.
Yeah, Obama could have been in trouble. And remember, McCain himself was kind of like not a hardcore Republican.
No,
he was kind of like a moderate.
Yeah, moderate, very big moderate.
Yeah. So the Republicans were not too.
He didn't have the 100%. That's my next question. Does Donald Trump have 100% support of the Republican Party?
I think he does. I think the Republican.
No, but you know the video I sent you today or yesterday.
Oh,
the lady.
Yeah. What's the name? The former governor Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley, yeah,
governor of South Carolina.
Nikki Haley has been talking about it. Yeah, that's Nikki Haley.
Yeah,
she's a Republican.
Yeah, but that's a primary, and I mean, he beat the daylights out of her in the primary. Nikki Haley, I mean, didn't really get. She lost.
But that means Nikki Haley is not going to support Trump.
No, they've gone past that. She spoke at the convention.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she spoke at the convention.
Okay. Also, the video I sent you is old.
It's an old video. But the Democrats but the Democrats
are using it.
Are using it.
Yeah, I think that's how I got it.
Yes.
I've not seen it before. So
it's actually featured very strongly in CNN's own reporting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because she was very emphatic that the party that replaces a septuagenarian, old candidate is the party that's going to win.
Yeah.
And she was speaking, and what she said, I can confirm that with our own reporting, because, like I said, one of the major factors that was making the Republican and the Democratic Party unappealing was the age factor.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Democrats have taken away that age factor and presented to the American people somebody that is not as old. And so they've taken away one of the biggest worries of the young voters, which is the age factor. So now the question is, would they respond?
Yeah, but that? Donald Trump is not one, in terms of his personal relationship with the age analysis, not one that the age really tells on him.
Yes, but then it was taking a toll on Biden. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, on Biden.
On
so
Biden
is gone.
So
the age factor is no longer part of the equation.
But it is now
against Trump.
Against Trump.
That's what I'm wondering. Will it stand against Trump? Because here's a man who is old, but it doesn't. Nothing about him is old.
But what I'm saying is that most of the time when the Democrats have done well, they've done well because they've been able to marshal the support of the younger college voters, and then the female voters, and then the minority. This is really their war. Okay, so it's been recalibrated all over again, because now they are going back to the college campuses. They are going back to the youth vote. And of course, the repeal of Roe versus Wade, many females, including Republican females.
Is that an unpalatable ruling? Because Kamala Harris was being touted by CNN as having used the Roe and Wade to get Republicans, to get the Democrats sustainable in the House, both lower house and upper house, in 2022's midterm gubernatorials.
Yes.
Because she went out to campaign that what the Supreme Court has done is wrong.
Correct.
And that until they get a Congress that can change it, this is what the Trump people are going to do to America.
Sure.
And when she spoke today, she talked about women having the freedom to decide on what they do with their body, blah, blah,
Correct.
blah, blah. So is it a real campaign McCoy, the Supreme Court's purported reversal of Roe and Wade?
Oh, it absolutely is, because at the end of the day, remember that this is a country that is built on the notion of liberty, freedom, and opportunity. The last thing that they want to do is making the government determine what they're going to do with their own personal lives. And so she's couching the campaign as a campaign of a fight for their freedom, because there are so many states now in the U.S. where abortion is illegal.
It's illegal?
Yeah, it's illegal.
Are some of those states blue?
There's a mixture of it.
So there are some blue states where abortion is illegal?
But most of the states where abortion is legal are likely to be blue states. Right?
Illegal?
Where abortion is legal are likely to be liberal states.
Yeah, blue.
Blue, yeah. But until that law was overturned, it was legal generally.
Okay.
Right? So now that it's become more difficult for people to have abortions, trust me, there are people who are traveling from Texas and other states, crossing over to states like Illinois just to get an abortion and all of that. And not just that, a lot of reproductive, health rights issues.
Oh, it's part of the ruling? It's not just abortion, there are other reproductive rights?
In terms of the framing of the debate.
Does that sort of camouflage for people who are in favor of the Roe and Wade Supreme Court ruling? They're going to think that the narrative about Roe and Wade is really a camouflage to present an argument for the LGBT.
I think LGBT is a different issue.
Is it really different?
Yeah, it's different. And don't forget that
the sloganeering is the same. liberty, the opportunity.
Yeah. So in terms of that,
LGBT sloganeering is the same. Liberty, I have to decide what I want to do with my body. The government cannot tell me what to do with my body. That's really LGBT sloganeering. And it's the same sloganeering for abortion. So is the LGBT movement a part of this Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump? Are people going to make their choice for Trump, anti-LGBT, Kamala Harris, pro-LGBT? Is that going to be part of the reckoning?
It will be a huge factor, a very big reckoning. Remember when Kamala was here in our own country, Ghana, she had this press conference with President Akufo-Addo, and one of the, at that time, our parliament was trying to pass an anti-LGBTQ bill. And one of the major questions that came from the audience was as to whether Kamala Harris, what was her response to that particular scenario. And she really spoke very strongly in favor of the passage of laws that permitted people to exercise their sexual freedoms. So it's going to be huge. And we know that Donald Trump is somebody who is against it. He's somebody who touts the name of God, the Bible, believes in Jesus Christ. Often remember when he got shot, he said that he needed help from the big man up there, you know, and all of that. So, but at the same time, the youth in America are quite liberal. There are a lot of people who believe that their freedoms should be guaranteed, and they couch this whole thing,
including LGBT.
Yes, as an affront to their
What
freedoms.
I want you to do for our viewers as we conclude, so that we can look at it on Thursday. You remember your friend, the professor, who has this 10 things?
Oh yeah, the keys, Professor
Can we go
Lichtman.
through the keys on Thursday, show to our viewers at this time?
Yes.
What it may change.
Yes.
So he talks about what incumbent is running, and that gives an advantage. I don't know whether that includes the vice president.
No, so those keys, just to bring our viewers up to speed. So there are like 10 keys.
10 keys, yes.
And you need a number of them, about six of them.
To pass on one way for that person to win.
To win. And it has, you see, the interesting, it has always worked.
That's
like
why I want you to come to it.
Always.
So incumbent, economy, foreign policy, demonstrations, outbreak of pandemic.
Yes. And,
so let's have a look at that.
And then two things, whether there is a contested primary for the presidency or not.
Yes. That both go through cleanly.
Yes.
Trump didn't contest, Kamala will not contest.
But that one is on the incumbent party. It doesn't apply to
it's on the incumbent party. So Kamala will clear that. She'll take that one as correct.
Take that one.
She didn't contest.
She didn't. Well, yeah, hopefully.
I don't know how we'll call it because.
Yeah, so we have to wait for the convention.
Oh, the convention will take care. That's for sure. That's for sure. The convention will get there.
So let's
but she's going to be difficult on economy.
Yes.
Foreign policy. I've forgotten the rest.
Yeah.
But Prof, do that for us.
Yeah, so we'll do that Thursday.
Thursday, come and show us the map that these are the 10 things. Yes. Maybe we can do that in Ghana as well.
Yes, you know, we tried that.
We tried.
In 2020.
Yeah,
and it actually
didn't work. I can't remember.
With Kojo, is it Kojo Frimpong?
Yeah, Kojo Frimpong was here.
And then your other, I've forgotten the other.
Yeah.
And
we'll see.
It actually worked.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. We'll see you on Thursday. Hopefully, Prof will be at the DNC for us. Good evening, Ghana. And you'll be seeing, why are they doing it?
They're doing it in the great city of Chicago, Barack Obama's hometown.
Wow.
Right at the background.
That's Obama, David Plouffe.
Axelrod.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's an Obama convention then.
Yeah, so I mean, he's gonna.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, thank you. Let's see what the text messages have, and then we roll on with the program. It's 10 minutes past the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Let me start with you, Anziba. What are people saying?
Our first message is from Nashon Okusu. She's saying, it's our Madame Kamala, and she's going to win. Michelle does not want to be president or anything. From Cookie Mickey, he says, was rooting for Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, as Trump's running mate or Texas's governor. J.D. Vance is young, but not that loud and popular, unlike these guys. Opare Philip Israel says, Professor Sikanso is a colossus in international relations, and his knowledge in global politics is top-notch. I enjoy listening to his insightful commentary on U.S. politics. I count myself fortunate for being taught by him as Unimac IG, such a great man. From Dr. Eche, please tell Paul I'm seated and watching in Missouri. From E.K. Cook, did I hear Nana Oye say recalibration B? Meaning she is not even sure of what she is saying. And lastly, from Eric Echampo, please, Paul, you have to combine all these videos and post them for us. Antoinette, sorry, Fatih, what do you have for us?
Okay, so this is coming from Cookie Mickey.
And Coffee Mickey says Democrats are going home this November. Trump's victory is non-negotiable. Maxwell Energy says if Democrats bring the vice president, that woman, I think they are giving the president to Donald Trump. Now coming from Kofi Mickey again, it says Kamala's DA imprisoned many black families than any DA in the history of America. What happened between Trump and Hillary in 2016 will repeat again. Now, also coming from Bennett Dancy, says Paul, Joe Biden did well by stepping down to make way for another candidate to lead the Democrats into the election. This usually won't happen easily in any African country. African leaders and politicians must learn from JB. Also coming from Sugri Jonas, he says, I'm foreseeing former President Mahama also withdrawing from the contest in the Ghanaian election ahead. Now, lastly, coming from Shadrach, he says, but is it true Obama doesn't support Kamala somehow? What do you have for us on it?
Yeah. So still on the American story, Alhaji Yusufu Husseini says, Paul, what would have been the insult on us and some African countries by the West if it was an African country putting two old men like Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden standing for elections? It's so embarrassing that all the people in political parties in America, they couldn't get young, enterprising, and energetic politicians to run for president. Trump Jr. should rather advise his dad to step down as well because he's just a step better than Mr. Biden in age and not in performance. For me, just stance on Palestine and support for the genocide and human rights violations, including international laws, clearly shows none of them has the balls to speak the truth and ready to call Israel to order. Now, Levi Godfrey Tete says Trump doesn't have 100% support. Former President Bush still hasn't endorsed him, but he has solidified himself in the Republican Party. Rebecca Lancaster says that I don't think America is ready for a colored female president at this time because there are too many racists in the country. Now, Ron Owusu Marshall is referring to the event of Biden stepping down happening in Africa as well. He says it happened in South Africa. Mandela stepped down for Thabo Mbeki, and Mbeki also stepped down for his deputy to take over. So we actually do have examples in Africa. Isaac Bafo says the candidature of the Democrats and Republicans reflect same as what we have in Ghana. I suspect that whichever way the pendulum swings, the duopoly would want to ride on. And lastly, Zachary Abubakar says that the Democrats cannot win the elections without winning Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Angelo?
Okay, so I have just one message from, I think this is Jude watching us from Dominic. He says, the Democrat convention is on August 19th. That's my birthday. And, oh, he also raises an interesting point. He says President Trump's running mate insulted him in 2016. Yes, people have been making the point. But, well, it will report back to you.
I said President Trump's who?
Running mate has been insulting him back in 2016.
Oh, that J.D. Vance was against Trump.
During that time. Where
During
he
the
said,
2016. I think that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, but times change, people change, you know.
Okay, let's get to our quiz. Now, viewers, it's an election year, so what do? We want to introduce this quiz matter. We're going to put the questions on the television, and if you know the answer to the question and you are the first, I mean, it's not a difficult question, so many people, our young people are very smart, so they will get the answer very quickly. If you know the answer to the question, what you do is you text us on the thing and say, this is the correct answer. Our social media editors are watching, so the first person or maybe the first two people to get us the correct answer, Thursday, you're going to be our guest in the studio. You read text messages with us. So let's start with a question. So the question first, producers, we rehearsed. The question first, I talk about it, and then the answer comes after I have done the Captain Smart story. Okay, so what's the question for today? Good evening, Ghana. Trivia. Okay, what's the question for today? You should move on the question. The question is, the following presidents of Ghana's Fourth Republic have served as members of parliament, except A. John Agyekum Kufuor, B. John Evans Atta Mills, C. John Dramani Mahama, and D. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The question again is, the following presidents of Ghana's Fourth Republic have served as members of parliament, except John Agyekum Kufuor, John Evans Atta Mills, John Dramani Mahama, no John Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That's the question. Get us the answer. Start texting quickly to our social media, Good Evening Ghana Official, or to our page. And then social media editors, look at the time that they are sending it. So the one to send the correct answer first, or the two people to send the correct answer first. And Michael, you're also getting people to text you. You are on there. Which number? On WhatsApp. Good Evening Ghana on WhatsApp as well. So let's do that. Okay, so let's get to the touch screen and let me deal with my brother Smart, and then we'll talk about the correct answer. Also for Smart, as I say, yeah, we are no. Journalism, na say good journalism anymore. Say you can do your work without doing. Let's see the video. Let's see the video of what he said. See the video.
I want to repeat this statement. The ticket of Baumia Napo, what to Abama, we are bois. Unimunyansa, what drain the fem, ye tia so, a pecheno, a pro, a say. And yes, I win any pow, we any pa me do, me boo, me ni so, me condo, na emono, we yes, sir. Say obindo omaya onye nipa oyekwase a
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? To Obama, NDC, MPP, I mean, how can you say that? Chief, where did you learn this journalism from? Where did you learn this from? Young people are coming up, they want to be journalists. You are lucky to be a journalist. I'm lucky to be a news reporter. How do you dissipate the whole career like this? How do you, if that's what Tommy and Anfosi and Godwin Avenobo did, would we have had the respect for the job? How can you talk like that? A big man like you, how can you talk like that on television? And the people who run your television station today were watching. How can you do that? If your child is watching that thing on TV, would you be happy with it? Why do you do things like that? Let us demonstrate that journalism is an intellectual exercise. It's not a competition of insults. It's not an insulting match. Other people can do that. Journalism is not about that, because you have a responsibility to educate people, to entertain them, and to inform them. That is a constitutional obligation on anybody who tries to use mass media to engage with people. Once you want to use mass media to engage with people, there's a constitutional obligation to educate, to entertain, and to inform. The Constitution didn't add insults. What is wrong with you? Why are you dissipating the job? Why are you spoiling the job? Why are you bringing the job opprobrium? Why are you bringing the job disgrace? Why? Don't you know that young people want to come and do the job? Your children who watch you, don't they want to become journalists? Is that what they should come and talk like that on TV? Really? I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Sometimes my friends see me and then they are laughing at me that when we said that stop the journalism and come and let's work, you say that you do journalism, then you stand on TV and you're complaining about it. Take a deal with it. Yes. A journalist is on TV and talks like that about election. And so the Ghana Journalists Association cannot. And the Ghana Journalists Association doesn't want to look like they are partisan, because in fact they are not partisan. The leadership of the GJA is not partisan. People who are members of the GJA can be partisan. But once you become leadership of GJA, they've never been partisan from the time of Giftia Fenyidazi. So if you look at the wording of their language, they are trying very hard not to look like they are doing MPP's bidding. But you have forced them into the game. They are neutrals. The leadership of the GJA is neutral. Leave them to be. Don't do things that will force them out to come and say that you can't talk like that, and it will look like because he's talking about NDC, MPP, that's why they are doing that. No. They are doing that because they need to sanitize the job and give it that clean bill of health that every country needs for the country to progress. Why do you think they call us the fourth estate of the realm? You think if this is what they were doing in Versailles, where the name fourth estate came from,
they will call us fourth estate. You think this is what the British newspapers were doing? They will call them fourth estate. You think that's how Nkrumah's Evening News and Dankwa Statesman, when they started in Ghana, if this is what they were doing competition of insults. Why do you both come into the journalism and come and destroy it like that? Where did you come from into the journalism to just come and destroy it like that? Play the tape again. Play his tape. Let viewers understand what I'm talking about. Play.
I want to repeat this statement. The ticket of Baumia Napo, Otu Abama Wama, we are bois. Unimunyansa, what drain the fem, ye tia so, a pecheno, a pro, a say. And yes, I win any pow, we any pa me do, me boo, me ni so, me con do, na emono.
Captain Smart. We'll be reminding him of this tape because he has not come to apologize. Let's look at the GJ. What did GJ say? GJ calls for Media General to sanction Captain Smart over comments against MPP. The Ghana Journalists Association has expressed its disappointment over Captain Smart's unprofessional conduct. This comes after Captain Smart made inflammatory remarks during his Onua TV show, stating that only insane people would vote for the new Patriotic Party in the upcoming elections on 7 December. Insane people are not even qualified to vote because part of the reason to... He didn't say insane, Paul. So he didn't say that. He said that they are animals. That's what he didn't say they are insane. He didn't say that Otu Abama MPP we are insane. He said something else. What he said means that they are animals. That if you vote for MPP, you're an animal. That's okay. That's not going to stop people who want to vote for MPP to vote for MPP. But you don't communicate in mass media like that. And it is becoming unbecoming. And people who work with him, the station he works with, what is wrong? Kojo Yanka, Mr. Kojo Yanka, I'm mentioning your name on television today. You are a very respected journalist. One of the most respected. You wrote a book, I read it in and out. And I talked about it here. Mr. Kojo Yanka, these are not the standards you taught us. Mr. Kojo Yanka, these are not the standards you taught us. This guy can stand on TV and talk like that. And Kojo Yanka is he board chairman of TV3? Kojo Yanka, the information minister. Is it politics that is destroying all our people? Kojo Yanka, Mr. Kojo Yanka that I know, the information minister, decent, one of the most decent men. When I read Kojo Yanka's book, the thing that shocked me in my life, and I told him, was that he had impregnated a lady young before he went to university. Because if you look at Kojo Yanka, he's not like, if Chairman went to me, sorry, I won't go there. If you look at Kojo Yanka, he's not like that. But because of the respect Kojo Yanka carries, Mr. Kojo Yanka, you are a chairman of TV3, and this can happen there. A guy comes on TV and talks like that. I stand here and I carry narrative upon narrative against the National Democratic Congress, against this, against that, against Asiedu Nketia, narrative upon narrative. But go and look at the tapes. Never would you find me talking like this. What is the point? You can say that Ghanaians, please don't vote for MPP. Why must you vote for MPP? They are a bad government. The combination of Napo and Baumia is blah, 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 blah. You can say all that. But you can't sit on TV and say that if you vote for the MPP, you are an animal. Television. Okay. 25. Let's take some text message. What are people saying? No, don't tell me that one yet. I'll come with the correct answer and then you tell me that one. So now read messages on what I've just done. Who should I start? Party seems to be ready than all of them. Anziba first? Okay, Anziba first.
Okay. Kobna Sichi is saying this guy is something else. Insulting Ghanaians like that. We have Gamzoya saying Captain Smart is a disgrace to journalism. The enemy should sanction him to deter others from going that way. Also from Edu Jimfi says Captain Smart needs psychiatric examination. Fatih, what do you have?
Alright, so this is coming from Bernard Danso, and he says Captain Smart, or whatever he calls himself, looks like his own insult. He has consistently cheapened the journalism profession and brought the image of professional journalists into disrepute. It's time for the GJA and the Ghana Media Commission to bring such an unprofessional journalist to book. He's not fit to sit on any media platform. Coming from Lily Wells, he says, what is GJA and National Media Commission doing about this? Now, Cynthia also says Captain Smart should be taken off screens. Sergey Jenner says, Paul, I repeat, you and your team are just super excellent and a content-based journalist, but it has nothing to do with the fact that you bring us on every Tuesdays and Thursdays great political shows. Now, lastly, coming from Akwesi says, Paul, most of the time, people like Captain Smart mostly don't have anything to say, so they just resort to insults. What do you have for us on it?
So Joseph says, I'm actually not surprised of Captain Smart's attitude. He actually thinks that in expressing his disappointment, he should rather insult. He will soon actually regret after DNB becomes the president, and he adds a hashtag, it is possible. That stinkum says, for me, I actually enjoy it because people like these always make the NDC lose votes whenever they insult. And lastly, Suleiman Ike is asking, on what moral ground is Paul standing to criticize Captain Smart? Back to you, Paul.
What am I standing to criticize? But what JJ has never written to me and my bosses that they should talk to me about anything. They've never done that because I don't do that. I cherish the profession. Those of us who are news reporters who do journalism, go and report news for many years before we do program. Our training doesn't allow us to go and call people animals because they are voting for MPP or NDC. I mean, what's that? Anyway. All right. Hey, we got a love letter. I got a love letter from Joyce Bauer Mod guy. I didn't understand it all. The IEA have been organizing debates forever. In 2008, they organized a debate. I believe that was the first one. I think it was, yes. Well, many years ago in 2000, I was part of the Giftia Fenyidazi's CNN first presidential debate that was organized. It was a debate organized for 8 presidential candidates, so we didn't get the real debate feel, like a one-on-one, toe-to-toe kind of thing. I was one of the questioners. This is 24 years ago. That was the first debate and tribute to Giftia Fenyidazi, now barrister at law and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana. Gifty worked so hard with Bright Blue at the GJA Secretariat and Matthew Makwame. They worked so hard in 2000, supported by Cabral Bleamehia, Kofi Kumsin, Haruna Atta. They worked so hard to bring the CNN presidential debate to Ghana. I have a chapter of that in my book. The book is coming. It's coming very, very soon. In a matter of 2 months, it will be done. And I took time to deal with that in the chapter of the book, the circumstances of the debate, why it turned out that Guzi Tana was the winner of the debate, how Professor Mills did not attend the debate and was under pressure, Professor Mills, to do his own debate later on. All of that is captured in the book. That happened in the year 2000. But since then, the IEA have been holding debates. In 2008, the IEA held a debate. I mean, we're all there. Have a look. Please play the video. This is one of the old ones. Guess who you can see on the TV, baby?
This evening, we have a solid evidence that the people of this country have a very clear choice to make on December the 7th. From the NDC, we've heard again many of the same familiar campaign promises which we heard 4 years ago. And they've now packaged them as fantasy and are trying to sell it to us as reality. Fantasy. 4 years ago, they said they would bring unemployment down to the barest minimum of petrol and LPG at much higher prices. I lead a team of committed, dedicated men and women who are ready to take on the challenge of transforming the economy.
Now we go to NDC.
Professor Jena Nobukwashima didn't tell us then that she was talking to John Mahama every day, and then a week later, after John Mahama won the election, she became Minister for Education. That story too is coming. I'm planning an interview with Kojo Sheldon, and when it comes, I'm going to say a lot about my personal relationship with IEA debate and the National Democratic Congress. Watch out for that interview. Kojo Sheldon says he's busy. The guy's head is big, so it takes a long time. He says he's busy. As soon as he gives me the green light, I'm going to the studio and I'm going to bear it all out to him, and then you'll hear it from him. But I want that question to come. What is your relationship with the IEA
the NDC and presidential debates 2008 and 2012. Jena Nopokwajiman, she was the one asking the debate questions. 2 weeks later, she became minister for John Mahama. Anyway, whatever you do, you have to give Akufo-Addo articulation. That you have to give it to him correct. The guy can talk and he knows what he's talking about. You can say anything you want to say about Akufo-Addo. You can't take that from him. And it's gratifying that Ghanaians have elected a leader who is that articulate. It's really gratifying. It's really, really gratifying. Anyway, so IEA said this week that they want to organize another debate. IEA have organized debates in 2012, 2008, 12, 16. 16 didn't happen. 16 didn't happen. Yeah, they did 2008 and 12. And then they did running mate debates as well at some point. I can't remember. Who was the running mate that day? Was it Baumi? I can't remember. But they did the running mate debates, or did they not do it? It's not coming well. Anyway, but everyone knows in Ghana that IEA is the civil society organization that does the debates. That is how people know Jean Mensa. That is why when Jean Mensa was made electoral commissioner, she didn't need to be introduced, because everybody remembers Jean Mensa from the IEA debates. So IEA have been doing that. What is the history of IEA? Professor P.A. Viansa was a member of the IEA. B.J. Darocha was a member of the IEA. Justice D.F. Annan was a member of the IEA. Kwame Ahoy has been a member of the IEA for the longest time. He has had many publications published through the IEA from his pen. You know, who has not been a member of the IEA? Everybody. All the political parties have worked with the IEA. Bidzidin, the PNC. IEA has supported political parties. Damboche will tell you the kind of support he got from IEA when he was General Secretary. Alhaji Hudu Yaya will tell you the same thing when he was NDC General Secretary. So IEA has sort of been part and parcel of presidential debates and organizing political parties for them to be strong. Dr. Charles Mensah, who leads the IEA, has always had a philosophy that the smaller political parties should be helped to be strong. IEA has mooted bills. The presidential transition bill was done by the IEA. IEA is not Jean Mensah. IEA is not somebody, it's not one person. Kwesi Jonah has been at IEA. Professor Ransford Jampo has been at IEA. Franklin Kujo has been at IEA. So IEA is for all of us. Now, IEA said they are going to do debates and that they are telling political parties to do debate. Hey, this small thing they said. Come and see Joyce Bauer. Let's read it. Joyce Bauer took a pen. Hurry up, ding, ding, ding. Mahama 24 campaign cautions IEA. Are you the front for the NPP? Accra, Ghana. The Mahama 2024 campaign strongly condemns the recent announcement by the Institute of Economic Affairs Ghana regarding a presidential debate for 2024 elections. It is completely unacceptable that the IEA will make such an announcement without engaging or informing the National Democratic Congress, one of the major political parties in Ghana. The Constitution of Ghana does not grant the IEA any authority to organize election-related activities. The fact that the IEA has not shown the decency or respect to at least inform the NDC of its plans raises serious questions about its motives. The IEA is clearly acting as a front for the new patriotic party and seeks to manipulate the electoral process in favor of the ruling party. Please tell him to get me Koko Anyidoho's video ready here. All right, so that's the end of the Jean Mensah, Joyce Bauer statement. Auntie Joyce, it is saying, good to see you. Now, what is the matter? NDC have participated in an IEA debate before. NDC presidential running mate has been an IEA debate host before. Can you imagine this, viewers? I'm sure they didn't think about it. Your presidential candidate has participated in IEA debate. People believe that he even won it. 2012, he won it. Your running mate is a bona fide IEA debate host. Then you come and say that IEA has published that they want to do presidential debate, which they've been doing all the time, which you have participated in. You have received, as NDC, support from IEA. You have received computers from IEA. You have received all kinds of support from IEA that all political parties have also received. The support is not IEA's money. IEA sourced for funding and supported political parties with it. So, what is, if you don't want to do debate, say that I, John Dramani Maham, I will not do debate, nobody will catch you. As you said, under the Constitution, the debate is not by force. 2016, Akufo-Addo said, I will not do any debate. Nobody caught him. He won the election by 1 million votes. He beat John Mahama by 1 million. The biggest defeat since 2000's election.
If you take 92 and 96 out, that is the widest defeat that has ever happened. It stands alone as the opposition leader who won the election first round in opposition in Fourth Republic. Akufo-Addo holds the record. So Akufo-Addo holds 3 records. He was the opposition leader who won the first round, never happened. He was the opposition leader who won by 1 million, never happened. He was the president who was able to implement his campaign promise in the first term of his government, never happened. But he said he wouldn't do debates. It didn't change anything. So if John Mahama, you don't want to do debate, say, I, President Mahama, debate, I won't do it. Is that all? Is it a fight? Why do you have to come and then make all these insinuations? And Joyce Bauer, you are always making yourself look bad as a communicator. This is poor. Just write and say, aye, we are not happy with the way you want to organize this debate. John Dramani Mahama will not do a debate. Full stop. And this is not the first time it would have happened. In 2016, Akufo-Addo said, I won't do any debate. He won the election. So when we are building a society, let's build a society with fairness, with equity, and with a lot of intellectual, what is this? Your running mate is IEA debate host. Your running mate, Madam Jane, is IEA debate host. What is all this? You don't want to do the debate. Dr. Baumia called for debate. The next week, IEA said, we will do debate. Then they said, IEA is a front for MPP. Joyce, when you write a statement like that, that you are asking the IEA, are they a front for MPP? And in all your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs, you don't evince a shred of evidence as to why you are saying that IEA is a front for MPP. Then what is your communication document doing here? What are you communicating? You say IEA is a front for NDC. Very major allegation. It's an allegation that all of us are interested in. Any journalist will be interested in that allegation. You write 7 paragraphs, not one. Did you show why you are saying they're a front for the MPP? Why? Maybe I'm wrong. Let's go through it very quickly. Okay. Okay, so this is the IEA response. The Institute of Economic Affairs takes note of the press statement issued on Friday, 19 July 2024 by the Mahama campaign team, which was signed by the spokesperson, Madam Joyce Bauer Modgari. The press statement was in response to IEA's announcement of its intentions to conduct presidential and vice presidential debates for 2024 elections. While thanking Madam Modgari for her responses, the IEA reacts as follows. IEA is on record as having initiated presidential debates in this country in the year 2000 and has consistently pursued this noble public-spirited function with integrity, with the exception of 2020, where no debates were organized because of COVID-19 pandemic. Respectfully, in our press release on 17 July, the IEA did not indicate that it had engaged or informed any political party or presidential candidate to participate in the debate. Indeed, the IEA had not engaged any political party or presidential candidate prior to its press release. Yes, that's it. But Joyce Bauer talks about IEA is a front for MPP, doesn't give a shred of evidence about it. Okay, no problem. Let me take your text messages on this one, and then I will take a break. Then I'll come to the winner. Oh, Koko, I need the host video. Oh, sorry. Because you gave me the IEA thing, it sort of confused me. Sorry, viewers. When you are growing old, you tend to forget things very quickly. Koko Anido has something to say about this. Please play Koko Anido's video.
If we are there, you Baumia payment every day now. Baumia SET agenda. I'm saying, Abba, what kind of lazy communicators and people have you surrounded yourself with? I just said, you can be a communicator. It is a whole academic discipline on its own. Now, my brother, why are you running away from a debate? You have a record. You are not a redeemer or another redeeming saint from heaven. You've been president for 4.5 years. You were thrown out by over 1 million votes. So, John Mahama, you have a record that is not too bright. You have a vision 24 hours that you cannot explain. So, Baumia is daring to you a debate. The spokesperson say, yes, two things. If you're not ready for the debate, then step down as our flag bearer.
You force Mahama to create debate.
You go. If you won't go, I will lead the demonstration.
20 minutes to the top of our at 11 o'clock. Antoinette, what are people saying?
Story. Master Planner Jr. watching us from Kingston Post says, as for the IEA debate, ex-President Mahama could not run away from it. He has to appear there to explain the 24-hour economy. I'm very sure that is why he's running away from the debate. Also, Dr. Bawumia will also need to explain his tax amnesty and flat rate. No one should run away. Now, Bennett Danso says, Paul, if I were to be John Mahama, I would have gladly welcomed Dr. Bawumia's challenge to debate on policies and track record. If he claims the NPP has performed abysmally, then I challenge him to debate Dr. Bawumia, except that he's running away from being exposed. Now, Maxwell Entry says the IEA should organize a debate. Dr. Bawumia will come. Dr. Bawumia is ready to defend his record. Now, Kofi Miki says, at a point, I actually thought that the IEA was fronting for or a syndicate of the NDC. Why are they now saying that they are now fronting for the NPP? Walenki Joseph says, double standards for the NDC. They are actually running away from reality because they can't explain their so-called 24-hour economy. And lastly, Joseph Opon says, when the same organization organized a debate when Mahama was president and Ayariga deliberately called any time, Nanado was given the chance to talk. Was the group working for the NDC? And lastly, James Sakum says, JM is running away from the debate with DNB because he lacks basic technicalities in the economy, and DNB will expose him big time. It is possible with DNB and Honorable Ambrose Derry in the Nando. Fatih.
Okay, so this is coming from Bambi Bam, and she says President Akufo-Addo didn't debate for the second time because of the first experience he had with Ayarikov. Now, coming from Abdul Latif Ramadani says, why is President Mahama and his team avoiding the IEA debate? If he has no message for the good people of Ghana, he should resign, just as Joe Biden did. No amount of tactics from the NDC will reverse the IEA debate. Now, also coming from Kofi Nati says, Nanado didn't do the debates because of Hassan Ayariga. In 2008, he was coughing and disturbing Nanado. That's the reason why he turned out the 2016 debate. Now, Master Planner Jr. from Kintampo says, running away from the debates will not save Mahama and his NDC from explaining the 24 hours economy. It will also not save them from losing the 2024 elections. It is possible with Dr. General E.L. Coleman says JDM is afraid of DMB on the economic debate. Also coming from Slim Kwa, she says, as for Joyce Bawa, she is fast establishing herself as a poor communicator, embarrassing herself, especially with her background as a lawyer. Lately, she's also all over the place, very loud but shallow. Now, lastly, coming from Maxwell, and she says, Nanado have a lot of records, won election with large votes, and a president who fulfilled the best policy in Ghana, which is the free SHS. What do you have for us, Santa?
From Urinchi, he's saying, good evening, Paul. Great show as always. Please, why is Metro TV out of multi-TV? Kofi Miki is saying, IEA debate has benefited NDC more than any political party in this country. Zatio is saying, Paul, it's wrong for the people to have the notion that Akufo-Addo didn't attend the debate in 2016. It was the NDC that said they didn't trust the IEA and they wanted the National Civic Education to rather hold the debate. The NPP then saw the NTE as an arm of government and sensed bias towards the government in power. Therefore, Nanado declined. Safiu Fambali says, I can't wait to be part of the no debate, no presidency demonstration against John Mahama. Angelo, what do you have for us?
Okay, so...
before you come in, Papa Francis Esiam says something. He says, Smart is suffering from perpetual delusions and in a constant state of hallucination. He is the least in our society and not worthy to be a citizen of Ghana, but an accidental mistake. Oh, that's too strong. That one is too strong, Francis. That one is too strong. Please don't say that. He should hurl his vitriolic insults. Hey, Francis. Obatampa Francis Rabna Esiam, she said she's a rational MPP member and not a confused broadcast journalist. Another one sent me here says that most of the people you mentioned had their professor designation due to the role of or their association with the IEA. The presentation and role they played there earned them those titles and not necessarily due to their academic qualification. Jampo, for instance, got his professor designation from his membership of the IEA. Kwame Nahoy also got his professorial designation from his membership of the IEA and a bit of IDEC work. As you may be aware, professor designations can be given by professional institutions and associations such as IEA, and IDEC. Most of them had their designation from their membership with those institutions, not necessarily by publications at universities. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But if that's so, that's very, very interesting as well. Joyce Bauer, are you listening? Are you listening? And somebody just called me and told me something, that tell Joyce Bauer that it was Kwame Nkrumah who recommended to the IEA that Nana Opoku-Agyeman be a debate host in 2012. It was Kwame Nkrumah. They said I should tell Joyce Bauer that it was Kwame Nkrumah who recommended, as a member, Kwame Nkrumah as a member of the IEA, maybe as a director of the IEA, it was who recommended to the IEA that please take Nana Opoku-Agyeman to be a debate host. He didn't tell the IEA Nana Opoku-Agyeman's relationship with the umbrella flag behind me. He didn't tell them that. He just told them that she's a university professor, she's vice chancellor of KVAS, she will do well. He didn't say that, oh, but she's a bona fide NDC member. 1 week later, she was designated Minister of Education. IEA were looking at it, and they were looking at me, and I was looking at them. I said, ayo, no problem. Okay, Mikael, go on.
Right, okay, so Frederick says GM knows very well that he does not have a policy to defend as far as the economy is concerned. He says he has no option than to run away from the debates. Well, Kofi JC says, just saw the late Obechibi Lamte in 2008 debate, my favorite politician. This is on Captain Smart. It says the unprofessional actions of people in various institutions is uncalled for, and the nation is to blame for it. It's not only in journalism, we have to act now. This from Kwao. And right, Abdul Latif says Captain Smart and others like him speak out of bitterness and frustration. Meanwhile, Dr. Baomi and Dr. Napo have launched a ground campaign to break the 8. He says greetings to an incoming member of parliament, Robert Lamte. And lastly, this is from Ramad to Abubakari. She says, our mom is so pretty. God bless her abundantly with good health and long life. Paul, I think she's talking about your mother. Anyway,
she's asleep. Okay, great. Oh, I just saw a video of Abeku Santana in London. Abeku is my good friend, you know. Abeku, how are you? He's on the phone. Also, for go and sleep and stop doing those things. All right. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll tell you the winner of the questions. When we come back, are you showing me a press statement? Okay, no. When we come back, we will tell you the winner of it. I hope they have something for the break. We'll be back right now. Don't go too far. Right now, we'll be back shortly.
Blast. Boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
So what about what your papa
this is my secret. Give us P capsules. Pema wa holding cough from now on to me to my ding one pem. Give us P capsules. Over do as a mama. Oh no, enemy lawyer.
And to lawyer no na show bottom. Are you bro? Are you bro? They na upon me see baba tia mo a eze ni die.
Bosano.
No. You dey na fi waka wo. The friend give us cold capsules. Say yes is yare na wo so. Ko di di wo ni pedwem wani na wo posa amaman entimi ma wunja wo nan yi. Unum give us cold capsules. Obey free.
Lawyer.
Give us cold capsules.
And I give us P capsules.
Hey, and I give us free.
Obey Chinasuma.
And men what if you do what you do and effort. Give us core capsules. A pay for a batter one more menu for an inquada when if you do me nunca.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Papa is walking.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son of and so Yari Sapa,
spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hated fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hand-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here.
From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and password tickets as a group individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
Created by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Oh, good evening, Ghana behind me. Good evening, Ghana. Yeah, great. Alrighty. Someone said the question we ask is wrong. Antoinette, read that text.
One in town, that's his name. He says, "Good evening, Ghana. I think your quiz question for tonight was premised wrongly. President Kufuor, despite being a former member of parliament, was not part of parliament in the Fourth Republic, but rather in the Second Republic, representing Etrima Nwabiaja."
Yes.
Yes.
Second and third.
I know your expected answer is Prof. Evans Atamewos, but as long as you have prefaced your question on the Fourth Republic, automatically excludes President Kufuor. I assume that once your question states except, it means one answer is expected, but with two options as answers, your question becomes ambiguous.
Great. Thank you, producer. I love you, man. So that's the question again. There was a trap we set for people. Unfortunately, he fell into it. What's his name? The one in town. If Professor Okwe teaches you, you fall into traps. How? Listen to the question. The following presidents of Ghana's Fourth Republic have served as members of parliament, except the Fourth Republic is qualifying presidents. It's not qualifying members of parliament. The following presidents of Ghana's Fourth Republic, presidents, have served as members of parliament. Did John Kufuor serve as member of parliament? Is this yes or no? The answer is yes. Did he serve as member of parliament in the Fourth Republic? The answer is no. Are we asking for people who served as members of parliament of Fourth Republic? No. We are asking for people who served as members of parliament in Ghana, historically simpliciter. We are asking to name the presidents of the Fourth Republic who have never been members of parliament. So the answer correctly is B, and it's Professor J.E.A. Mills. Why do we say that? John Agyekum Kufuor served as member of parliament for Achumangwa Beja in 1969 and 1979. John Dramani Mahama served as member of parliament in 1996 as, he won 96-97 as Bole Bamboy. Adodankwa Akufo-Addo served as member of parliament for Achima Boakwa South in 1997 to 2005 and 2005 to 2009. So the answer correctly is Professor John Evans Atta Mills. Our winner is Daniel Aiken. Daniel Aiken is a computer engineer, designer, and he comes from Sandema. Daniel Aiken, you're going to receive a text from our people. Thursday, you are in the studio. If you are in Sandema, we will still bring you to Accra. We'll give you an overnight accommodation, and you'll be in the studio with us on Thursday. So are you sending a message to him? Has it gone? So you're going to receive a message in your inbox, and please respond. And Thursday, viewers would like to see you. Thursday, I'll show this video before I introduce you, and then we can have a good time. We'll be doing that every now and then. On Thursday, we'll have another question. Whoever gets the question correct as the first person, you are in the studio with us on the next edition of the program. This is Good Evening Ghana. It's a People's Good Evening Ghana is live. Okay, let me get to my serious conversation. The only serious conversation, well, the next third serious conversation that I'm having today. John Dramani Mahama and Mahamadou Bawumia are asking for your vote and my vote. They are asking for us to elect them to be president of Ghana. Mahamadou Bawumia is actually the current vice president of Ghana. You know that already. And John Mahama is also the former president of Ghana and the former vice president. We know that already. Now, I'm going to say something controversial about job creation. All the statistics are showing that job creation is very, very important to our people. That job creation, please give me time here. Let me do 10 minutes on this. That job creation is very, very important to our people, okay? Yes, it is. Now, I want the young people to rise up. Right? I don't mean rise up in a revolution or rise up on the streets, but rise up in your brain. Rise up in your thinking. Rise up in your creativity. Let us set a high standard for John Dramani Mahama and Mahamadou Bawumia. If these two men are telling us that they are going to create employment, let us not ask them about factory or jobs that exist already. Let us ask them about education. You see, viewers, because I have looked at this thoroughly, there is a direct nexus between the kinds of graduates you are bringing out of the university and out of the polytechnic, and the kinds of graduates that you are bringing out of senior secondary school going into the university, and the economic bonanza of the country, the economic well-being, the economic expansion. So if a politician here is telling you that they want to create jobs, and they are not telling you that they will do that by fixing the person coming out of the university, forget about them. If they tell you they are creating jobs, but they're not telling you that we're going to create jobs through education, forget about them. The only way that you can enable the economy and to create jobs is to design a certain education that does exactly that. If you do not design the education that does that, you are out. It's not going to work. When oil came, now let me get into the details. When oil came to Ghana, there was, and listen to me, viewers, there was 5 billion worth of jobs that are non-oil related that came with the oil industry. Ghana got almost 0. Why did we get 0? Because our people are not trained and prepared and accustomed to those kinds of jobs. Majority of jobs, you can call them menial. Plumbers, electricians, and all of that. Why couldn't we get it? Because we don't have a single plumber in Ghana here that is coming out of the university. The university doesn't train plumbers. Why is it that our university doesn't train plumbers? Who is training the plumbers in Ghana? You want to build skyscrapers and change the skyline of Accra. When you go to developed countries, you see the skyline has changed. When Ghana started developing, you see that our skyline is changing. Now listen, All the beautiful buildings you see, even the stadia that we built for the All Africa Games, the people who did the work of plumbing, they are not Ghanaians. Why? Because we don't have a plumber who can do it. Is it because we don't have plumbers in Ghana? We do. Why don't we say in Ghana, the politicians say, why don't they tell you that we are going to redesign mechanical engineering in KNUST so that when you are studying mechanical engineering, in third year, you can branch out to become a plumber. And you come out of mechanical engineering as a plumber. So when there is a 300 skyscraper and they are looking for plumbing work, sitting in Ghana, you can get the job. That allows you as a young person, 27, to earn so much money because as the development is coming, you are able to take advantage of it. Tomorrow, we are going to build a new international conference center. How many Ghanaian plumbers will be there? 0. We have oil that has been discovered in the central and western region. We want plumbers there. We brought them from Ivory Coast. People are building their houses today. They bring the tilers from Togo because they have studied a curricula that teaches tiling at senior secondary school and at polytechnic. Cosmetology. Why doesn't cosmetology come out of medical school? Why don't we say that in 4th year medical school, those of you who want to do cosmetology, branch out and go and do it and become a beautician. But you have understood microbiology. So you are going to be a different kind of beautician. So when Beyonce is coming to perform in Ghana, and she says, I want a salon to do my hair, bring me the CV of the salons there, and she looks at it, she won't do it. But if she looks at the thing and it's impressive, she will call Rihanna. Oh, when you go to Ghana, there are many salons in East Legon. And Charlie, all the ladies are top. You can do it. It will be going on. So until these politicians tell you that my job creation promise is anchored on education, forget about them. Forget about them. Dr. Duchum, the education minister, has identified a parallel between the Southeast Asian tigers and the way they grew and STEM production. There's a direct nexus between how many science students you are churning out at a certain level and STEM production. Today, if your television is faulty and you're looking for somebody to repair it, chances are that the person is not an electrical engineer from KNUST. No, he's not. He's a JSS boy who, those days there was no free SHS. His father couldn't pay. He didn't go, something. He comes and they ask him that, but when you raise the TV, didn't you see that you shouldn't put it here and that it will break? What is wrong with you? How will he know? He won't know. So that's the story I'm bringing to young people. Raise the standards. Tell the politician that I don't want to hear your factory. Tell me what you are going to do about the graduates that are coming out. And I'm going to tell you something about myself. Let's look at this first. Job creation, more matter of education and human resource and empowerment, and less government employment. Job creation is not so much about government policy. It is about the government policy in education. That is what creates the jobs. Let me give you my own example. One day in 1990-something, the man rose up that he was going to set up a radio station. He decided that in setting up this radio station, he wasn't going to do the norm. In those days, what do? You go to Ghana Institute of Journalism, you pick somebody, or the GBC, Ghanaian Times, and then you set up media. He decided I was going to come for some of us, young graduates walking around, come and let's do radio. By the time we were going to the university, that establishment as a job opportunity was not available. All of us in the university wanted to go to the same companies that exist. Coca-Cola, Unilever, bank, something. And even the banks were not revolutionized. There were a few banks. All of us want to go and work in these places. Now, if over the last 40 years, American universities have not done what they did, the global economy will not have moved from million to billion to trillion. It is because of the products that came out of American universities. That is what made the difference. We call some of them dropouts, like Bill Gates is a dropout. We say it all the time. These people are not dropouts. So do you know what it is? So it's like you are studying in the university, you are studying biology. And then you find out that you seem to suggest that there's a nexus between the kind of cereal a child eats and his ability to understand engineering at age 17. So you tell your lecturer. Lecturer says, well, second semester, we'll do a little bit of that. But when you get to 4th year, you do a little bit of that. They say, no, lecturer, I'm not interested. I want to drop out of the school and research into this. That's what Bill Gates is. If that's what we call dropout, then he's a dropout. But viewers, is that a dropout? He's a mathematics student. He's telling his lecturer that I want to investigate this thing properly. So I need to step out of the school and have time to investigate this properly. And he's doing that, and they say that he's a dropout. So if this Ghanaian student does that, gets out of school, then finds out that, oh, there's this grain that connects to that, and then he makes money out of it, all the grain companies are going to him, he has a patent over it, he has created something else. You don't come from the university to come and add and participate in what already exists. If you are coming to participate in what already exists, then you have to add so much to it. But the university students must be raised such that they are not coming out of university to come and participate. They are coming out with different things, new ideas, expanding everything. And when they expand, they benefit from it. They expand, they benefit from it. And that is when the economy moves from million to zillion to trillion. That's what has happened to America. Let's look at a bit of this one. Industries with higher education and training requirements tend to pay workers higher. Okay, we know that. But how does a nation's educational system relate to its economic performance? That's the answer that the article, this is the question the article is answering. Every nation's educational system has a direct relation with its economic performance. If the politician is not telling you that I am going to change this curricula at the university, I'm going to include this in engineering, I'm going to make maths this way, I'm going to make anthropology compulsory so that all our people can think. Whatever the politician has to say about employment, it has to be said about education, because it is there that the politician has control. In employment, he doesn't have control. In education, he has control. If the education is churning out some kinds of people who are thinking in a certain way, man, we are getting there. So let's not Dr. Baumia and John Mahama come and tell you that I will create jobs and just leave it there. Let them show you how they are going to create jobs by turning around education. Those who have already benefited from the education system, they can give them training. Without that, we are not going anywhere. Without that, we will hear employment, we will hear create jobs, and nothing will happen. We'll be hearing it. Create job. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. And I want young people to engage and maybe I'm not even saying it properly, but I've said the little that I've said and started a debate. Let us engage with it. So when they are coming to you, they know that your standards are high. Yeah, they're not coming to tell you, we'll create employment for you. Yeah. We've been hearing it. Kwame Nkrumah said it. 69 said it. This one said it. Some have done well. Akufo-Addo has created a factory, etc., etc. Where we need to get to now is to have that leader who understands the connection between our senior high school, university, and creating employment. Who is telling you that I'm going to change cosmetology, it's going to be part of the degree. We're going to create carpenters, architects, people who go to tech to study architecture. In 4th year, some are going to branch out and become carpenters. That's the real story. I'll continue this story on Thursday. I'm not ending now. It's not ended. I'll continue on Thursday. Okay, we are still on DSTV. Okay, thank you very much. So people who are watching on DSTV, you're still with us. So I thought we were going off. I was going to cut it off. But this is where we are. I'll pick this up again on Thursday. It's a very interesting story. Just before then, though, let me tell you the story about my own interest in this matter. So I was talking about Kwesi Chum, the Joy FM owner, proprietor, founder. So he brought all of us to set up a radio station.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Has Christianity always been one of the religions in the world to you?
Oh, hallelujah. Praise God. Christianity is not a religion, neither is it a joining of a church and doing the Christian things like praying and giving and so on. Hallelujah.